In this video, we're going to talk about how to define your purpose using a simple 4-step formula designed to help you live a life of absolute fulfillment. Let's get right to it. Hey guys, if you're new to this channel, I'm Brandon Eastman with Be Better Industries, and this YouTube channel is designed to help you master the areas of mindset, achievement, as well as my own personal strategies that I've used to help myself, as well as help my clients and other people that I've worked with to live better lives. So if you're into mindset or achievement, go ahead and hit the like button on this video and consider subscribing below. Make sure if you subscribe, you hit the bell so that you're notified of all new videos that I release every single Monday. Now, you're here because you want to work on defining your purpose, or maybe you already have an idea of what your purpose is and you want to take it to the next level. Maybe you want to rekindle your purpose, or even just revisit it, or get more specific on what that looks like for you. We keep saying the P word, we keep saying purpose, but what exactly does purpose mean? Before I give you the definition that we're going to use today for our intents and purposes, I want to ask you a question. If you could do anything that you wanted in your life and you knew that you couldn't fail, what is it that you would do? Because the reality is this: whatever you answered, you can do that. Whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve. Napoleon Hill had a quote: "Whatever the mind of man can believe and conceive, it can achieve." And that is absolutely true for what we're going to talk about today. Because if you had all the money in the world, meaning you never had to work again, you didn't have to go to your 9-to-5 job, you didn't have to go to the office, you didn't have to work with your clients or whatever it is you do, if you had all of that time available to you, what would you do with all of that time? I can probably guess that most people's answers had something to do with other people. It had to do with your family, maybe it had to do with spending time with your kids, but I can guarantee that some portion of your time would go into helping other people who aren't as fortunate as you. Because the ultimate fulfillment comes from giving to other people. The ultimate fulfillment comes from giving back, using our unique abilities and our strengths, whether it's natural or learned. Because the secret to living is giving. And today, the definition of purpose that we're going to work with is purpose is when you use your strengths and abilities that you were born with and that you got better with over time to help other people. I'm going to say it one more time. Purpose is when you are intentionally using your skills and abilities to add value and to help other people. So now you might be saying, Brandon, I have no idea what those skills or abilities are. I have no idea how to determine my purpose. I feel like I'm just drifting in life right now, not knowing where I'm going. I've gone through the rat race. I work my 9-to-5. I go home, I sit down, I watch TV, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know how I could help other people. If that's where you are, I've been there too. You're not alone, okay? Because a lot of other people are in that same exact spot in their life right now. But the purpose of this is I want to show you a quick formula that can help you break down exactly what your purpose is so that you can be more fulfilled most of the time. You see, fulfillment is a beautiful state. And in this life, if we have one goal, it's to feel good most of the time. Because when you feel good, what kind of actions do you take? Better actions. When you feel good, you do things to help other people. When you feel good, the decisions that you make are of a higher quality than when you're in a disempowering state, or when you're in a negative state, or even a lethargic state. When you feel good, you're able to tap into your abilities and you're able to make magic happen. So our ultimate goal is to be fulfilled as often as possible. And the reason we're talking about purpose is because purpose leads to fulfillment. So let's take a look at this formula that we've been talking about the whole time, and let's relate it to our own life. Let's get to it. This is the Purpose Finder formula. This is going to help us determine what it is we are put on this earth to do to help other people and to add value to other people, okay? Now, this formula was not created by me. This was created by two people. Their names are Brian Bosché and Gabrielle Bosché. They're husband and wife. And it comes from this book named Keep Them longer. And I'll go ahead and I'll put this book down here in the description if you want to pick it up. This book talks about exactly what the book is called, how to keep and retain employees and those on your team for longer. And a big part of this book talks about helping those around you discover and define their purpose. Because once you help people discover what it is that they're innately put here on earth to do, beautiful things happen. You become more skilled. You seek mastery in your life. You seek to improve on your natural and your learned skills so that you can help and add value to more and more people. So definitely check out Keep Them Longer. It's right down here in the description. It's a great book. Whether you're a leader in a company or not, it's a great book. Now, this is the formula. Obviously, our outcome here for this video is to discover our purpose or to redefine our purpose. Now, there's 4 things and 4 steps that go into discovering and strengthening your purpose. And those steps are this. What are your natural talents? What are the skill sets that you've practiced and worked towards and sought mastery with in your life? And what is your passion? We're going to talk about what passion is. We're going to define it because I think it's another P word that's thrown around all the time. Pretty much everyone has a different definition for it. So we're going to talk about what our definition of passion is when we get there. And then your origin story. What story is the reason that you are the way you are? What has happened in your life that has defined you down to the core, that has defined what has created your character? And we'll talk about that once we get there too. But let's talk about the very first thing here, which is your natural talent. What is something that you were born with that you've just noticed throughout your life that you've used over and over? Something you were born with that you've always been great at. You can't necessarily explain why you've been good at this thing, but it's just something you've been born with, a skill or an attitude or a characteristic that you just tend to do naturally. You tend to do it maybe better than other people around you. For me, my natural talent has always been, I have a gift of gab and I've always been extremely expressive. I use my hands a lot. I always have different facial expressions. It's very easy to tell how I feel because I use my face and contort it in many different ways. It's very easy to tell what emotional state I'm in. It's not the same for everyone. And I was born with that. I remember when it comes to my gift of gab, I used to come home from school, whether it was elementary school, middle school, or high school, and I used to go right over to my dad, who was always in his reclining chair, just leaning back, reading a magazine or reading a book or on the internet, and I used to always go up to him and just teach him everything that we learned at school that day, whether it was science or math or English, anything, because I've always loved to talk and I've always loved to teach other people the things that I've learned, hence why I'm making this video for you today. That always has come naturally to me. So go ahead, ask yourself the question, what is something that's always been natural for you? Something that's always come easily. When you started doing it, it just happened. And you couldn't explain it. It was just something that's in your DNA. It's something that's a part of you. This could be sales. It could be communication. It could be making friends. Maybe it's problem solving. But go ahead, define what that is for you, because that is an integral part of defining our purpose, and it's one of the most important pieces of this entire formula. Hence why it's number 1. Because once we understand what we're inherently good at, something we were born with, then we can move to the second of the 4 elements of the Purpose Finder formula, which is your learned skill sets. Now, this is different from the first one because this is something that we weren't born with. This is something that we had to become better at throughout the course of our life, whether it's because we had to, because of the environment that we were in, or we chose to get better at this thing just because we wanted to be more skilled in this area. So now I want you to ask yourself the question, what is a skill set or an ability that you've taken the time to improve on throughout your life? Now think about this. This could be something you went to school for. This could be something that you've read tons and tons of books and articles and magazines about. This could be something that you've researched extensively on your own time. But what is your learned skill set? Something that you're good at, but you weren't good at it initially. Something that you've taken the time to improve. To give you a personal example for learned skill sets, For me, this is communication. Learning how to take my gift of gab and craft it and make it more precise so that I can communicate a message to you and have it be easily received and hopefully cause you to take action based on the energy that I give off. Communication would be my learned skill set. And I remember the first time I decided that I wanted to get better at this. I remember the first speech I ever gave. I was nervous. It was to about 50 people over in Malta, New York, and the speech in the training was on goal setting and time management. And I remember I was so nervous going into it, but I prepared and I looked up videos like how to give a speech and how to present to people to cause them to listen and also to take action. And what happened after the speech was I actually did a good job. And back then, a good job was probably like 1/10 of what I could do now because it was years ago, about half a decade. I remember after the training, a lot of people came up to me and they said, Brandon, this rekindled my spirit when it comes to setting goals. This caused me to look at how I spend my time differently. I wanted to thank you for this. And I thought to myself, oh my God, like as a 19-year-old kid, I'm talking about goal setting and time management. And this is receptive to people. This is helping people. And I thought to myself, helping people one-on-one is awesome, but how cool is it to be able to speak to many people at once to help many people make changes and improvements in their life? So my learned skill set is communication, but mostly communication to a group of people. There's definitely a lot of people out there who are much better than me at one-on-one coaching and one-on-one conversations. But when it comes to me, I'm more skilled at giving presentations to groups, which is why video on YouTube is something that's new to me. But that's one of my learned skill sets. So my natural talent is a gift of gab and expressiveness. And my learned skill set is speaking to groups of people and communicating a message concisely. So those kind of go together, but yours don't have to go together. Yours could be your natural talent maybe is problem solving or making friends, and your learned skill set could be something like whatever you went to college for, business, accounting, maybe you went to college or you studied underwater basket weaving, and that's your learned skill set. They don't have to relate to each other, and I think that's a very important point to make. Your learned skills and your natural talent, they can be completely separate from each other. So keep that in mind as we go throughout this. But now you understand what your natural talent is. You understand what your learned skill sets are. Now we get to one of the most fun parts of the Purpose Finder formula, which is your passion. What are you passionate about? Now let's talk about what passion actually means for at least this video, for the purposes that we're going to use it. Passion, the definition that we're going to give it today, is passion is an injustice that you want to see solved in the world. I'm going to say it one more time. Passion, for at least the purposes of what we're using it for, is the injustice that you want to see solved or improved in the world today. This could be trafficking, human trafficking. I actually just listened to a Tony Robbins podcast about human trafficking, and it is a huge issue that isn't talked about too often. That could be a passion, eliminating human trafficking. It could be, I have a friend, his name is Vince Nance, he'll probably watch this video, so what's up, Vince? Hope you're doing well, man. But Vince Nance teaches martial arts to women groups and groups of women and groups of children to help them be able to defend themselves in the event that something happens. This could be something like, personally, my passion is how we're not taught about certain things in our education system today. We're not taught how to make money. We're not taught how to manage our money. We're not taught how to problem solve. We're not taught how to manage our emotional state. There's so many things in our education system today that we're just not taught about. And the question is, why aren't we taught about it? Like, I had to learn these things all by myself. So passion is an injustice that you want to see solved or improved or fixed in the world today. Because I heard a quote somewhere, I'm not sure who said it, but it's probably an easy Google search, but be the change that you want to see in the world. If there's something that you want to see improved, then why not be the person who takes a stance and makes a difference in whatever that area is that you want to see improved? So that's passion. What is it for you? Because now you understand your natural talent. You understand your learned skill set, something that you've gotten better with in your life. And now you also understand what your passion is, the injustice that you want to see solved in the world. Because once we have these three elements, By the way, these 3 elements, they might seem boring. All right, the underwater basket weaving, maybe problem solving, and your passion is to help the underprivileged, whatever it is for you, helping the homeless, whatever it is. Those can seem the same as the person next to you. Those can seem boring. They could be 1 or 2 words. And you might be saying, oh, you know what, this is good, but this doesn't really help me figure out what I want to do. The last and the 4th element is the thing that this 4th element is the thing that makes you unique. This 4th element is what sets you apart. Because we all have a uniqueness to us. Every single one of us is different. And the reason for that is because of our origin story. Your origin story is the events or the particular story for the reason you are who you are today. This story tells us why you have a passion for the thing that you're passionate about improving. Your origin story is what sets you apart. And as an example, an origin story for me that causes me to be passionate about our education system and making sure the children coming through our schools today aren't just pushed into college because that's the thing to do, but they're actually educated on the different paths they can take in life. Maybe if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, maybe then you want to go to college. But college is not the answer for most people. It's just something you're going to go and spend an exorbitant amount of money on for no reason, to have a degree that you probably won't even use unless you're going into some kind of STEM field or something along those lines where you need education. Like if you're going to be a doctor, please go to college. But if you want to start a business, you don't need to go to college. There's so many ways to self-educate in this world that do not cause you to go $100,000 in debt. So what's your origin story? To give you a personal example from mine, I was 18 years old, I graduated high school, and I wanted to be a lawyer because I saw people on TV who were lawyers, they were wearing suits, they made good money, and in my mind, if you wanted to make money, you had to be a doctor or a lawyer. So my goal was I wanted to earn $60,000 a year. So I went to school, I took online courses for political science, and I started working for a sales company while I was going to school to become a lawyer. And what happened was my first year in that sales company, I made $60,000. I made $58,000, pretty close, but I'll just say 60 because it's a nicer number. I reached my income goal without being a lawyer. So I asked myself, why am I going to college to make 60 grand a year as a lawyer? They probably make more depending on where you are, but that was what was in my mind at the time. Why am I going to school and getting myself into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt in order to become a lawyer so I can make the same amount of money I'm making with this sales job right now? And I went to my boss, and my boss said, dude, you're already at your goal, just drop out of school. And that struck me because throughout my life, I was told, go to college. You need to go to college. If you don't go to college, you're going to be a deadbeat. You're not going to amount to anything. But the reality is, look at YouTube nowadays. Like, you are watching me talk to you in this video right now, and you don't need to go to college, make a YouTube video, and help thousands of people. You don't need to go to college in order to become a salesperson, make great money, and start investing in real estate or stocks and bonds or something like that. We're just not taught about those things in our education system today. We're not taught how to manage money. And because of that, not making excuses, but I went thousands of dollars into credit card debt because I didn't know how to manage my money and I made stupid decisions. Maybe decision making would be a great course or class to have in school. But I hope that helps you understand what an origin story is. It's the story or the series of events that have caused you to be the person that you are today, that has caused you to have this passion of yours, that has caused you to become better in this learned set of skills. Okay? Now go ahead, at this point, you have an idea of your natural talents, your learned skills, your passion, and your origin story. So now I'm curious. Go ahead and go in the comments, and I want you to type in what you believe your purpose to be now that you have this information. And if you're unsure, go in the comments and post these things separately. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I would love to help you define this maybe a little bit more specifically than what you have right now. I'd love to help you break this down, go granular with it, and really decide what it is you're going to do to help other people with the inherent abilities that you have. Because purpose isn't something you have. Purpose is something that you do. Purpose is a set of actions that you put forth in order to help other people. My purpose is to reach millions of people eventually. Within the next 10 years, I want to reach millions of people to help them make positive changes in their life with their mindset and achieving their goals, and also help them with things that I've had to learn, like eliminating debt and managing your emotional state. And I want to help millions of people do that, and that's because of my natural talents and my skill sets and my passion and my personal origin story of why I am who I am today. That's my purpose. And it took me a long time to realize that, but I'll tell you this. When I was 19 or 20, I wish that someone told me these things. So as I look into this camera lens, looking right into your eyes, I want you to think that I'm speaking directly to you, because I am. Because I want you to discover your purpose. And I don't want you to wait until you're 26 or 30 or 40 or 50. I want you to know what you want to do right now. And I want you to take action on that, because you, even though you're one person, you can make a huge difference in the lives of other people. You have the ability to make massive shifts in the world today. Think of so many people out there who are making massive shifts. Elon Musk, Bill Gates. By the way, you don't need to be a billionaire to help a lot of people. You can help people in your community. You can help your friends. You can help your family. You can make content on YouTube or any other social platform to help people virtually and remotely. Because imagine this. There's 8 billion people on the earth. If you can even make a 1% difference, if you can make a small dent in the world today and help people the way you are right now, and you're only going to get better, by the way, but if you can make a 1% dent in the world, a positive 1% difference, think about what that would mean for everyone else who comes after you, for people who really need to hear your message, for people who really need to hear your personal story. Because I've worked with people and their origin story is so painful that they don't even want to share it with other people. But let me tell you this, you're not alone. You're not the only one who's had a tough story or a tough upbringing or a tough environment. Your story, no matter how painful or how vulnerable it makes you to share it, your story needs to go out there. Because while you might receive judgment or you might receive criticism, number one, that speaks mostly of the people giving the judgment and the criticism. It means they probably have a darker story they need to get off their chest. But your story, no matter how vulnerable or how painful it is, can truly help so many people. I hope you understand the importance of understanding your purpose, because again, a life of giving is the life worth living. Okay? A life of giving is a life of living. And understanding your purpose and giving back to other people, whether they're strangers or friends or family, that is what will lead you to the state of fulfillment. So go ahead, if this helped you discover your purpose, hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button, and be sure to hit the bell so you're notified of all new videos coming out. Every Monday, I'll be releasing new content to help you in the areas of mindset, achievement, as well as my own personal strategies, such as discovering your purpose. And I'll see you next time.